Investigates how the city's residents can make a living in a war zone.
A city of contrast. A city divided. In the eastern part of Mosul, the public executions and ISIS occupation has ended. Scrappers sell what they can on the sides of roads, often making as little as $6 a day, yet remain optimistic.
And every pupils come back to their works, and the authorities working for provide us the electricity and the water, clean water and everything. And now everything, as I can say, is okay.
Bodies transported in the back of cars, damaged buildings and roads in need of repair. Yet Mosul is trying to move forward. Basma Abdul Karim owns cafes in both East and West Mosul.
It's better to walk down here, because in there, if I'm a daily walk by 1,000 in here, I can give a quarter for this money.
Karim claims the quality of his falafels make them sell, regardless of which side of the war his customers come from.
I'm famous in this work because I have experience in this work, and drivers coming to me because this is traditional and the local food. Drivers come to buy to me. Even city governments come to buy for me.
While Karim's cafes are doing well, other Mosul businesses are struggling. He claims reputation helps.
I am famous in this food maker, and I'm famous in Erbil and even in Duhok, and all Iraq. I'm famous in this type of food.
Another helicopter makes its way back from the city to one of dozens of checkpoints. On the outskirts of Mosul, we pass this Christian Orthodox church. Sadly, it hasn't been used for worship for some time.
So I'm standing in what is called a tunnel, and many of the Islamic State would hide underground in these tunnels and spring out and shoot members of the Peshmerga and the Iraqi army over the last 6 months to a year.
The church, the tunnel and the checkpoint are guarded by NPU soldiers, who are armed Assyrian Christians, who liberated towns surrounding East Mosul from the Islamic State just before Christmas.
And this is where the tunnel also opens out, inside the church. So we have is at the entrance of the road, near the checkpoint, just in front of the church, and right here, inside the church, a huge pit.
More refugee camps occupy clear ground on the rolling sandy hills surrounding the city. Maybe someday they will be empty and everyone can return home. For News 12 Now in Mosul, this is James Mahan.
A college campus in Mosul is using education to fight back against ISIS. Some students have waited 2 years to get back to their classrooms. In the second of our 5-part series from Iraq, News 12 correspondent James Mahan shines a light on their struggle.
Sami is going to university to study IT management.
I think this is the most important thing in my life, which is I consider it the most important thing.
He's attending one of 6 satellite campuses of the University of Mosul. This one located in Bartella, 13 miles east of the city centre.
They should know that Mosul have suffered for 3 years with ISIS, and now the people need the general world and the general society to support them.
The Masawat school building is busy on this May morning, with refill pads, note-taking and timetables, keeping over 1,000 students busy. Many are just happy to be back in a classroom, even if these temporary campuses are not in Mosul itself.
But while we stayed in Mosul, we lost 2 years, and now new we're going to start.
Others are not so impressed.
Small space, and as you see, it's loud. Do you see this? Class is very small and crowded.
Ahmed is studying business management and wants the world to know his classmates are not giving up despite the conditions.
We will ask them for their support so we can recover of this war and take rid of ISIS.
This is the alternative. Mosul University's main city campus, bombed and destroyed over the last 2 years. Professors fleeing for their lives in its location just a few hundred meters from the war on terror's front line.
No running water, no electricity and no Wi-Fi, and broken wooden desks. Yet over 1,000 students here at this university are trying to move forward. For News 12 Now in Mosul, this is James Mahan.
84% of Kurds in Iraq want independence. President Trump's support for Syrian Kurds in the fight against ISIS is raising hopes even higher. But both Turkey and Iran have spoken out against Kurdistani independence, which they feel could destabilize the Middle East further. News 12 correspondent James Mahan asks if Kurdistan is ready.
The University of Soleimani's Kurdistan's modern campus has 25,000 students. Many are hoping to have the chance in their lifetime to vote for an independent Kurdistan.
Improve our situation inside Kurdistan and get our independence, and we are going to hold a referendum election in the late of this year.
While a vote this year seems optimistic, others feel it will happen in the coming years. Not every student is eager to see 5 million Kurds running their own country.
I don't believe in independence of Kurdistan because of the bad situation of political situation, and also I don't believe in independence. About the future, actually I have hope, but it's not very well. I hope so. I hope we get a better country and a better situation of everything.
Many of the concerns lie around infrastructure, with students wanting 24-hour electricity, air conditioning and Wi-Fi in their country, as well as greater access to visas to travel outside of their region. Kurdish sociologist Surin has a more cautious view.
I do believe that we should be ready for this because it is a difficult decision. We should make this decision with preparation for this step.
The region's two biggest political parties are the KDP and the PUK, and both say a roadmap to independence is on the table, with some even saying that they are not Arab here, they are not Iraqi here, they are Kurd. For News 12 Now, this is James Mahan in Kurdistan.
Well, recent polls show only about a third of Americans approve of how President Trump is running the country. However, News 12 correspondent James Mahan shows us how Trump support is growing 7,000 miles away in Iraq.
Mid-morning prayers in Sulaymaniyah, a city of 1 million located southeast of Mosul and just 2 hours from the Iranian border. The city is an educational and social hub in Kurdistan, with markets, restaurants and universities. The name on everyone's lips? Donald Trump.
Trump, very good. I love Donald Trump.
My best president is Trump.
Trump.
The president's decision to support Kurdish Syrians in the fight against the Islamic State has raised his opinion ratings in a region which had become disillusioned with the Obama administration's input in Iraq. Miguel Cell and his brother fled Syria to Soleimani as refugees, and he believes the controversial Trump airstrikes in his country were needed.
To me, they were both good, but I think Trump is better. Because Trump will make America great again. In a kind of a hard way, there will be collateral damages, but I think he will make America great again. Sorry.
Only a very small percentage of younger Kurds felt Obama helped their country and region.
Because he is good for poor people. Yes, for Kurdish.
Tell now Obama.
There is a growing belief here in Soleimani that President Trump will help Kurdistan become independent, and in other cities including Dohuk and Erbil. Kurdistan has retained semi-autonomous status in Iraq since 1970, but that could all change in the coming years. For News 12 Now in Soleimani, Kurdistan, this is James Mahan.